So earlier this week, my appendix gave out on me. And I had my first trip to the ER. I had my first trip in an ambulance, which was quite the experience. I slept in a hospital hallway for a night, which was interesting. But let me tell you this story, because the past 2 weeks I've been in Canada. I live in Richmond, Virginia, in the States. And I flew back from Canada Tuesday morning. I woke up with this, I swear I thought I had food poisoning. Right? Because I went to sleep and my stomach was hurting, bro. I was like, maybe I ate something bad, I'll just sleep it off. But I kept like waking up in the middle of the night and I just couldn't shake it off. In the morning, I thought I was gonna throw up, but like my stomach was just hurting so bad. And at that point, it just felt like I had a stomach ache. That's what it felt like. So the day before, right, I had pasta. And the last time I had pasta, I was in Miami, Florida. I had a chicken Alfredo at this nice Italian place. And the morning after I ate that chicken Alfredo in Miami, I had food poisoning and I was throwing up all day. So I was like, okay, my body's just not fucking tolerant to pasta. So I wake up that morning and I have the worst fucking stomach aches. I'm leaving to the airport in the next 3 hours. I woke up at 6 a.m. We were going to leave at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. And I'm like, how am I going to make this flight? Like, I'm talking about pain where I'm like curled up on the floor. I can't move. I haven't packed any of my bags and we're about to leave. And I'm going through my morning journaling that morning, and I'm like, you know, I always write down like just what my thoughts are that morning, kind of just like a brain dump of like what's going on in my head, right? And I'm just like, God, why are you putting me through this right now? Like, I know it's not like, I believe that there is a reason behind everything that we do in our lives. And I was like, God, just tell me why you're putting me through this pain right now, because I'm telling you it was that unbearable. And I'm the guy, like, I'm pretty fucking tolerant to pain, bro. Like, I seek discomfort. I was in a period of my life where I was waking up at 4:15 every single day. So like, I know how it feels to go days without sleeping. I know how it feels to like really push my body to a point where I literally cannot recover myself. Like, I do that to myself. But this pain that I was feeling was so fucking unbearable. And that's not even the worst of it, because I managed to throw my shit into a suitcase. I'm talking about like, I'm a very, very neat guy. So like, I typically fold all my stuff up, even if it was dirty laundry, but I just threw everything into the suitcase, hoping that I didn't forget anything. And I was barely just dragging my shit into the car. The car ride to the airport from the place that I was staying at was about 20 minutes. And in that drive, I was like, bro, I was going through it, like sitting in the car like this. Like, there's a point of pain where you just do not care about anything, any surroundings, anyone talking to you, anything that's going on. I had my flight. I didn't even have my boarding pass tickets. I didn't even know like where they were. I didn't have them on my phone. I didn't care. I just wanted this pain to stop. So I couldn't get any food down. I didn't throw up yet, but I couldn't get any food down. And during that car ride was the first time I threw up, because I drink 32 ounces of water when I wake up in the morning, and all of that water shaking in my fucking stomach, I just threw it up. So at that point when I threw up, I was like, okay, it has to be food poisoning, because I threw up. The weird thing though was my bowel movements were fine. Like, I didn't have diarrhea. Like, I was just shitting normally. And when I threw up, I was like, okay, it's gotta be the pasta, because when I threw up in Miami last time, for the first time when I threw up, I was like fine after, right? But when I threw up, it was just water. And I'm sorry to get a little fucking disgusting on this video right here, but I promise you it has a reason. It was just water. And get to the airport, I'm again like barely getting myself through TSA. I'm talking to Border Patrol, and I'm not even fucking talking at that point. They're kind of like, okay, is this guy a fucking threat, because he's not saying anything at all, like hoodie on, not saying shit. So I don't even know how I got past that. In the airport waiting for my flight, it was like a 2-hour wait for my flight. And bro, like, I was going back and forth from the bathroom, just throwing up. I was trying to get ginger ale down, because I was told by like my mom and dad, because I was telling them like, hey, I have a stomach ache. Like, they're like, drink ginger ale, you'll be fine. I was not fucking fine. So first flight, bro, I had 2 flights. So the first one was from Canada to New York, and then New York to Richmond. First flight left at about 1. So I was in the airport about 2 hours, and that flight was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I know this is gonna sound really fucked up when I say this, but part of me in the back of my head, like the dark thoughts you have in your head that you're like, what? Who the fuck said that? The dark thoughts in my head were like, I wouldn't mind if this plane crashes. It feels very wrong saying this out loud, but just to describe the amount of pain that I was in, and within 20 minutes of taking off in the air, like obviously the fucking plane shaking and shit, so that wasn't any good for my stomach. And I immediately got up, and like I was 5 seconds from throwing up until I got into the bathroom for the airplane, and there was only one bathroom on the airplane, so I was fucking lucky. There was like a family sitting next to the bathroom, so they would have been clapped because I would have threw up on them, but threw up on the airplane. And that was the last time I threw up, was after the first flight. The first flight, I was going through like it was just so hot, bro. I was sweating, I had the chills, and I was just like dying the whole time. Flight attendant didn't know if I was gonna fucking make it, but thugged it out. And again, unbearable fucking pain. I get to LaGuardia in New York, and layover is about 2 hours. I feel a little bit better at the time. Try to get some food down, barely get anything down. I try to get applesauce down again. I'm still not feeling good at that point. My stomach's still hurting. Make it through that layover, the 2-3 hour layover. Flight back to Richmond. That flight was, it honestly got worse. The stomach ache kind of went away, but instead of just a stomach ache, it was this sharp pain in my lower left part of my abdomen. And that's when I was like, okay, something's fucking wrong. Because it's not food poisoning. And, you know, I'm texting my mom and dad back and forth, like, as much as I can, because I was in so much pain where I literally did not go on my phone the whole day. Like, I was just in my head the whole day, right? And I was like, only if I can make it back to my bed in Richmond. Because I was just trying to, the only thing keeping me going was just envisioning where I can just go, like, get into my bed. Because whenever I'm sick, bro, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit in my fucking bed. And that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. And I'm texting my mom and dad. I'm also using ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, this is what I'm feeling. Because honestly, like, I've gotten to a point of that kind of dependency where I'm using ChatGPT for like personal shit like that. So I'm like, this is what I ate. This is how I feel. This is like my symptoms. And it was saying, if these are your symptoms and the pain in your stomach hasn't gone away yet, go straight to the ER. It told me that 2 times, and I was like, what do you mean go straight to the ER? So obviously I couldn't do that in LaGuardia. I couldn't do that on the plane. So I was like, I'm just gonna thug it out till I get back to Richmond. And I make it back. Again, that second flight was a little bit more tolerable, but again, that pain was still persistent. It was still, I could still feel it. And I get back to Richmond. Car ride back to my place was, again, it still just was so uncomfortable. Get back to my bed. I sit on my bed. I'm gonna throw up a clip right here of me sitting in that bed, because I was like, once I hit my bed, everything's cool. But I wish I was right about that. So I end up falling asleep. It was like 8 p.m. at that time. I end up falling asleep for like 30 minutes. Best sleep of my life. Why? Because I could not feel anything at all. The pain went away. I was numb. I couldn't feel anything. And I just was so happy, because at that point, I was off like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, because the night before, I told you I was still feeling that stomach pain, so I couldn't sleep. And I fall asleep. I wake up and I'm like, something's still wrong, because it's not a matter of like my stomach hurting like a stomach ache, but it's a matter of like when I'm moving like this, it's this sharp pain. Like, imagine someone sticking a fucking knife in the bottom left part of your abdomen, just twisting it over and over again. That's what it felt like. And when I started like stretch, bro, when I stretched, oh my God, that shit was crazy. And I text my mom, I'm like, help. I'm like, fucking help. And luckily, I have a doctor in my family, so we called him, and he was like, if it's a pain in your left part of your abdomen, go straight to the ER. So that's exactly what we did. We went to the ER around like 9-10 p.m. You know, the doctors did great. They put me through this scan, like a CDC scan, I believe what it's called. At that point, I'm hooked up to all this IV. Like, I go through like 3-4 bags of the water, because again, I wasn't drinking anything throughout the day. So I'm hooked up, I'm on pain meds. I feel fucking great because I can't feel anything, and I feel that like best, like in the back of my mind throughout the day too, I was like, I feel like this is gonna get to the point where I need an IV bag because I was that dehydrated. So I'm at the hospital at that point. They put me through the scan. They're like, it might be appendicitis, or no, I'm saying that wrong. I'm definitely saying that wrong, but basically it was like a diagnosis of someone who has their appendix inflamed or ruptured. So my appendix was inflamed, and the whole time I was like, how did this happen? Because I eat the cleanest food ever, and especially in Canada too, I was still clean with my diet. So I was thinking to myself, like, how the fuck did I get this? How is my appendix inflamed if my food is so fucking clean? And the doctor told me, like, look, this is just normal. This is a normal part of like 60-70% of the population, that either they go through this or they don't. So at that point, I just believe that I got unlucky. And mind you, the whole time I'm thinking, like, God, why are you putting me through this pain right now? Why am I going through this experience right now? Like, what does this serve in my life rather than just making me hurt? So again, luckily I'm blessed and grateful that I had nurses and doctors that helped me out. Like, I'm talking about a whole fucking crew, right? And I get the scan results back. They say that I have appendicitis. I think that's what it's called. So they transport me to a different hospital for the surgery. And they said the surgery takes, it's either going to be later that night, which at that time it was 11, 12 at night, or early morning. So I get my first ER ride, which was, it was kind of like a luxury experience, I can't lie, because I had someone pick me up in a stretcher, put me in a car, and drive me, which was kind of cool. But yeah, I go in that ER, go to the next hospital. Nurses were really, really nice. Like, they put me on pain meds, IV. Like, I felt great. Very, very grateful that I had them by my side. And like, my mom, bro, she is such a supportive person in my life, and like, she always has. She literally slept by my side while I was in the ER, while I was at that other hospital, just because like she was so worried about me. And I kept telling her, like, Mom, just go back. Like, I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm in good hands right now. I'm in the hospital. Like, and she was just like, no, I'm gonna stay here. Like, fall asleep. She fell asleep in a chair. Like, the nurse got us eye masks because they didn't turn off the lights. Again, I was in the hallway because they didn't have any spots for me. But yeah, bro, I mean, I ended up falling asleep around like 1-ish a.m. at that point, and like, the best 4 or 5 hours of sleep in my life. Wake up at 5 a.m. and I wake up, like, my dad's there. My mom left because she wants to go back and get some sleep, which I told her to. Dad woke me up, and he's like checking up on me, making sure I was good. And he was telling me, like, he had the same surgery himself, so it's kind of like he was telling me like how he went through it. He was showing me like videos of the surgery on his phone, which I didn't want to see. But yeah, I had my surgery lined up for 7:30. At that point, my entire family was with me, and I'm so blessed that I have them by my side, being supportive and being there for me when I was down. And it's not even a matter of like I was in pain and agony, but just a matter of like, I don't know, just like it's comforting. It brings like something out of my heart. I don't know how to verbalize this feeling, but just having that family next to you, because it's just such a comforting feeling. But I had surgery, was fine. I went under, I slept good. I woke up off anesthesia, and I was a little bit lazy. Got back home. I have cuts all over my stomach, 3 incisions in my stomach. Still taking pain meds for them right now. But I tell you this story almost 15 so minutes into the video. I tell you this story because, what did I tell you in the start? God, why did you put me through this experience right here, rather just to make me suffer? And I can't lie, all of this happened on Tuesday. It's Sunday right now, so again, like 5 days so after surgery, so I'm feeling good right now. I've been on my feet, you know, I'm marathon training too, and that's gonna delay my marathon training, but It's a setback. It's inconvenient, but life is inconvenient, bro. Life is inconvenient. So point is, you're gonna go through all of these setbacks in your life. And what a mentor of mine told me, this very, very powerful thing, and I'm seeing this play out in my life right now. Every action you take has an equal and opposite reaction. And the past 2 weeks, my business has been doing pretty fucking good. And if any of you have been watching this channel, bro, you would know, like, I've been struggling for a pretty fucking long time. And by no means is it at a point of, you know, where I want to be at, and like where I have the direction lined up for my business in the future. But, you know, it's making some significant progress, and I got to spend time with my family in Canada. I have a beautiful, loving family that was there for me when I was down. My car got hit this week. I know those two situations don't line like good and bad, but the point is that everything in life has an equal and opposite reaction. You cannot expect the goal you're trying to achieve to just be a linear path straight forward to it. You're gonna have setbacks. I'm marathon training. That's what I'm hell bent towards. That's my goal in the next 3 months. And it's coming up in November. It's August right now, and I have some really, really big plans lined up in the next couple of weeks, which I'm excited to show y'all. But everything in life has an equal and opposite reaction, and ultimately it is your ability to persevere through that adversity that God, this higher power, whether you believe in a higher power or not, this higher power it puts on you in your life and says, let me see how you handle this task. Let me see how you handle this adversity right here. And ultimately that builds who you are. That builds the man. If any journey you embark on, you give up on the first obstacle that comes in your way, how do you expect to win at anything in life? It's just not fucking possible. So these highs and lows that you have in your life, you have to just persevere through them. And I know it's a lot easier fucking said than done. I just told you a story about how I was at a pain so unbearable, I was damn near praying that I would just die. But that's what life is. It's a journey of ups and downs. And one thing to remember along the way, never get too high in the highs or never get too low in the lows. I just had surgery this week. My car got hit. I said bye to my long distance girlfriend. We're still together, but you know, she's going off to college. I'm going somewhere. Again, I'm gonna show y'all soon. But I'm not gonna see her for a long time. All of these bad things in my life happening this week, but I'm still fucking smiling because I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for what I've gone through, what has been gifted to me, and everything is just a gift, bro. And I know in times of pain and suffering, if you for some reason you are in the hospital watching this right now, like I was, you're probably not thinking the same thoughts, like, why am I here? But in the macro perspective thing, in the macro picture of things, just be grateful for where you're at. And if you're watching this channel and if you're as ambitious as I am and want to conquer as much as you can in this fucking world, I want to tell you something. People who don't succeed, they think in days. They think, today I had my appendix rupture, it's the end of the world. They think, oh, I got cut off in traffic, it's the end of the fucking world. They get annoyed at the smallest inconveniences and they let that dictate their entire lives. Those people never succeed. The people who might succeed, those people think in weeks. They think, this week was okay. This week, you know, I didn't make the most money this week. You know, I didn't really get to do anything fun this week, but I have something going on next week. I'll be fine. Those people might succeed. The people who will likely succeed, they think in months. They think, you know, if I can only stay consistent for this month, no matter what comes in my way, I will be consistent for this month because I know whatever I do this month will compound onto the next month. And those compounding effects will give me such a bigger reward. Those people will likely succeed. The people who will definitely succeed think in years. Think, if I can only be consistent with doing these good habits in my life, like eating the right food and nourishing their body, like training their mind and body every single day, waking up on an early time, holding themselves to promises they make to themselves. If they can do that for a year and they think, you know, it's only been a week, it's only been a month of me being consistent of this, just give it a year. Just give me a year of being consistent and let me see where I'm at. And they know that their lives will change in a year time. The people at the upper echelon of things think in decades. And I say all of this because I'm guilty of it too, but sometimes you let the smallest inconveniences in your life just dictate everything, dictate your mood, dictate how you treat other people, your emotions, everything about you and your character. When really it's just a small bump in the road. And what I tell my clients all the time, I'm saying, like, think about this journey of life. It's not a destination, it's a journey, right? Think about this journey of life as literally just a road. Like the car I'm sitting in right now, or making this talk to you right now in this car. Think about it as a road, as a highway. While you're driving on a highway, pay attention to this thing, right? When you're driving straight on the wheel, you're holding the wheel, right? I hold it one hand because I'm a fucking G. But when you're holding this wheel, right, it's not a straight line the whole time. You're not driving straight. There's like the smallest movement back and forth the whole time, but you still remain straight. And you end up at your destination. You end up at the destination that you're going towards because you had a destination set in your mind. And, you know, once you get to the destination, it might be comfortable for a little bit. Like it might be your, you know, dream city, and you sit there for like 2 years, you're really living it out, but all of a sudden you have a new direction. You want to go live in the country. And along the journey, you know, your wheel moves back and forth. Maybe you have to stop for gas, and it's going to take you like a couple minutes to fill up your gas tank. Like I'm talking hypothetically, gas tank, like fill up your body, get back on the road, get back to the direction. You see what I'm saying here? Get back on the road. Sometimes you got to take a detour. There's construction in the way. There's this inconvenience in the way that makes you slower towards your destination. Sometimes you're not even driving the right fucking car. Sometimes the car has fucking 2 wheels. You have to literally build the car from scratch to get to the destination. Sometimes you get pulled over, and you know, you have someone that is a bad influence on your life holding you back. Not to say that's what the cops are, but anyways. But this journey of life, you got to think about it from a macro perspective, because everyone has their dreams, aspirations, and desires, but you can't be quick to fall off of the journey just because the smallest inconvenience happens to you. And there's something called the Valley of Despair, and the Valley of Despair is such a monumental thing to really understand when you embark any new journey. Let's say you want to lose a ton of weight, right? You're on a new weight loss journey. You're trying to make a transformation in your life, or you're trying to make a ton of money in your life. Whatever it is for you, the transformation, right? The direction you have set for yourself. When you start this new journey, you're going to be very, very optimistic of all of these new benefits. Like, you know, you start getting all this information, like, oh, this is how I actually get healthier. Like, I'm going to start trying this out. You know, if I continue to do this down the line, like, I'm going to get to this dream physique. I'm going to make all this money. Like, you're so optimistic about all of these possibilities of this new opportunity that you went on, right? So that's the first stage. And I want you to think about it as like a journey map, right? The first stage is uninformed pessimism. The first stage is uninformed optimism, meaning that you're optimistic about this new opportunity you're about to go on, but you're uninformed about what it's actually going to take. The second stage is informed pessimism, meaning that, okay, you know, I was very, very excited about this opportunity, and you're going to relate with me if you ever tried anything new for the first time. Maybe you've only gone through the first stage in like the first couple of days of your new journey, but whatever it is for you, informed pessimism is like, I know that I have to start eating healthier and be on a calorie deficit to lose weight, but it's going to take how long? Like you start realizing, like, this is actually going to take a lot of time and effort out of me. And it's not just like some transformation I can make overnight like I've seen on Instagram, but it's actually something that I got to go into as a lifestyle change. A lifestyle change. And some people get scared away once they inform themselves about what actually has to get done to get to where they want to go. The third stage is where 99% of people fail and fall off at, which makes it the cycle of despair, where you see this new opportunity, this new shiny object that has all these opportunities, these desires that you want, like a Lambo, like this dream physique, and you continue to bite on these opportunities, and you fall into this cycle that just goes over and over again. You convince your mind that it just doesn't work for me, or just it doesn't exist. Making money online doesn't exist. Losing a ton of weight in a small amount of time doesn't exist. You convince yourself of that, because the cycle of despair is a very, very tough period, because you're doing all of the things, but you're not getting the result. You might be eating clean as shit, hitting your macros every single day, training good every single day, every single week, and you're losing weight on the scale, but you don't see anything happening in your body. So you're like, you know what, this just it doesn't work for my body. I'm not losing the weight I want. Like, I still have stomach on me. I don't have the money I want. I've been doing this for 12 months, and I haven't had the money that I want. This just doesn't work for me. That's what people start to tell themselves once they've been in this journey for so long, and they reach the valley of despair. The valley of despair, again, where 99% of people fail. And that's just the test, bro. That's just the test, whether you really want it or not. Whatever that is for you, bro. Whether it, again, losing a ton of weight, making a ton of money, putting on a ton of muscle, whatever opportunity, whatever shiny object you see online, whatever shiny opportunity you see online, like, people never get past that state, which keeps them in this cycle of despair, of just going in and out of the loop, in and out of the loop, thinking that nothing works for them, and everyone who makes money online or has this shredded physique just made it up, or just, did something to get it illegal. But that's not the truth. They just got through the valley of despair, and like, that's the third stage. The fourth stage is just actually seeing the little bit of progress, seeing that what you're doing in the gym is actually paying off. Like, you see not just the transformation in your body, but in your mind too. You start to perceive life differently. You start to make some money. Next stage is prophecies, bro. Really scaling past the next level and just taking it to a whole new level, realizing that, fuck, this opportunity, like, I started this journey thinking like, maybe I'll get this desired state, but now you're like, I really feel in control of it. And unfortunately, a lot of people just stay in that cycle time and time again. That's why I'm telling you about this today, is because I learned from my story, the small inconvenience in my life that I'm gonna look back from a year from now and just say like, yeah, that sucked at the time, but look where I'm at right now, because I was consistent, because the things that I'm doing on a daily basis have compounded up to that point in time, over a year of progression. It's just a minor inconvenience, bro. Why you let it throw you off track? There's no point. So boys, I hope you enjoyed this gumption talk today. Again, I have some really, really cool stuff planned out for the next couple of weeks, and I'm not talking about it yet because they haven't fallen through, obviously, and I don't like talking about hypotheticals. So unless it does fall through, then that's, y'all are gonna see it on this channel first. But if you're new to this channel, if this is the first time you've seen me or my gumption talks, check me out, subscribe to the channel, join me on this journey, and like the video, because that helps me out a lot. Check out my IG in the description of this video. I post literally my daily life every single solitary day. Y'all can keep me there. I answer all of my DMs, so shoot me a DM if any questions you got. I'm literally here to help. That's why I'm here. Other than that, I will see y'all boys later. Peace.